All right. Well, there was a movie that I watched a bit ago, and it is very, very, very hilarious. I got to give it credit for it. It had its ups and downs, but overall, it's a pretty hilarious freaking movie. The movie was called The Dictator by Sacha Baron Cohen. You may know him. He's the man of many, many, many different roles. It came out in 2012, and it is a movie that's actually hilariously relevant today because I'm pretty sure it is based on a fictional version of Iran. So you can see where they're going with this, and there's a lot of hilarity inside. So let's check it out. Now, I think this movie's strongest points are its actual like beginning part. When he's introducing everything, when he is the actual dictator, it's segmented into different parts. And the first kind of bit where he's introducing himself, and he's this great leader, and he's doing all these great leader things in kind of comedic fashion is just great. And it does get into another part of the movie that we'll get to in a sec here that is not so great. I don't know. It works. I mean, I guess it's kind of funny. But I mean, it goes on, and it's one of those gratuitous movies where it's always showing you funny, weird things. A woman with her boob beating him up with her boobs, and like all this wacky, weirdy type of things. So it has like that like extreme weird comedy to it that Sacha Baron Cohen is used to. And although I would say he's done other performances that are quite a bit better than this was one that probably a lot of people forget he even did in the first place. The movie starts to really falter when he goes to New York and he gets replaced, so to speak, by his double, and he's just kind of living in New York, trying to make ends meet. It has some feeling to it that it's not as entertaining, and he's just kind of like the douchebag living in New York City. But it does have some funny parts too. But I mean, the movie's main strength is when he's kind of just talking about him being a dictator and all this weird, wacky stuff that he does. As if you've ever played the game Tropico, this actually is a movie that feels like Tropico, the movie. It's quite hilarious, especially at the beginning part. And there's this freaking hilarious part at the beginning where he's doing it with Megan Fox, and she's like talking about her going and meeting up with some French leader afterwards. It's just like Megan Fox, how did you agree to do this? Like, you make yourself look like that. And it's not even like she's a different character. She's literally just herself being a worldwide escort. It makes no sense, but it's actually hilarious. And then of course he puts a picture on the wall of all the celebrities he's copulated with, and it makes you wonder. It's like, is that actually a thing? I wonder if that is a thing. Is like, they go around the world, to be with these major powerful people. Who knows, honestly, in the world, how crazy it is, what could go on behind the scenes. So yeah, some of the gags are not the greatest. I mean, honestly, like some of the gags with his different grossities and stuff, it's just so eye rolling. It's just like, come on. But I mean, it does have to have a fairly decent payoff on it. It's a fairly well-rounded movie kind of thing, and Sacha Baron Cohen is a very entertaining person. To watch him do all this is quite hilarious, and to hear him get away with a lot of the 9/11 jokes are just unbelievable. I can't believe that he got away with a lot of the stuff that he did do. It's really weird. It's a really weird movie, and yeah, it's worth watching for sure. But I had to mention it just because it does exist, and it is a kind of a strange little side movie. The love interest of the Aladdin, Anna Faris. She's the type of lady where she seems nice enough, but man, is she ever annoying. And she just, like, her mere presence on camera is just like, oh my god. Like, her facial expressions, her playing like a deranged lib in this is just so gold because it goes well with goes well with the character of herself and just how she is, kind of thing. And then there's this random gag with Bobby Lee and other, him going down, or other, celebrities going down on him because he's some kind of Chinese important person. Like I said, this is so. If I was to rate this movie, I would say it is totally a 6 out of 10. No doubt about it. It is without a doubt a 6 out of 10 movie. It's not the greatest. It has its fun, but it's a movie that if you are in a funny, funky mood, you'll probably have an entertaining time with it, especially at the beginning. The beginning of the movie is very strong and very interesting and good. But once it dips into the New York segment where, he's out and about trying to regain his throne, so to speak, it gets very, very annoying and cringe quickly. So I would say the other, like, the main parts of the back part of the movie is really, really, really weak and drags it. And it's a 6 out of 10 movie. Perfect score for it. Really not the greatest, but pretty entertaining to watch Sacha Baron Cohen go at it. And it's like all his Borating here is in full swing, and he plays the Aladdin guy pretty good, actually. It's quite hilarious. This is the type of movie I think that would have been much better if they didn't. I know it's central to the plot, but if they would have done away with the entirety of the New York segment, it would have been so much better. You you just heard his like liberal, woke things. This was woke before woke, making fun, a parody of woke before woke. Get that? Where a Middle Eastern dictator becomes thrown into a vegan foodery in New York. So like, I mean, on paper this must have looked like the most ridiculous thing you could ever see, but I mean, with some of the performances, and it felt very kooky, and Anna Faris being super annoying. It really dragged down the movie. So in conclusion, Dictator is a movie a lot of people probably either forgot existed or never even seen before. It's like Borat, but way less. And Sacha Baron Cohen is entertaining to watch at the best of times. So, I mean, 6 out of 10, thoroughly 6 out of 10 movie. Isn't that perfect that Rotten Tomatoes put a 6 out of 10, and IMDb is also at 6.5 out of 10. So, I mean, this is the most 6 out of 10 movie that is ever 6 out of 10. Like, it's not great. It's not the best. It's not it's goofy and corny and kooky. And it's a watch especially if you're into Sacha Baron Cohen, because he really hits his stride, especially at the beginning when he's the actual dictator running around being a dictator. And another like, this is the side bit, is that like there's some pretty controversial things in today's world in there. I don't want to get into all of them, but yeah. You'll see if you see the movie, but it talks about Israel, it talks about Iran. So I mean, we're in that sphere of things that just have become the epicenter of our daily lives today. So I mean, it's quite entertaining for that aspect. But yeah, the Dictator, interesting movie. Didn't ever see it. It just kind of came out, and I never saw it, and I watched it, and it's totally a 6 out of 10 movie. If ever there was a 6 out of 10 movie, this is it.